It wasn't supposed to go down like this. Heading into the AJA Team Tailor-Made Invitational, the script was already written. Miles Russell, the undisputed #1 junior in the country, was expected to breeze through yet another tournament, adding another trophy to his already stacked resume. The spotlight was locked on him, and somewhere far in the background, buried at number 604 in the rankings, was a familiar last name, but not a familiar threat. Charlie Woods. Yes, that Charlie Woods. Known more for his viral swing and PNC championship, cameos alongside his legendary father, than for any AJGA dominance. Nobody was predicting a win. Most didn't even expect a top 10 finish. A solid showing? Maybe. But taking down the top-ranked junior in the nation? That wasn't in anyone's playbook, until it was. Because what unfolded over 3 days at Streamsong Resort wasn't some feel-good moment of a famous kid holding his own. It was an ambush. Charlie Woods didn't edge out the field. He tore through it. And when the final putt dropped, the name at the top of the leaderboard stood alone, and it wasn't Miles Russell. It was Charlie. The leaderboard didn't just show Charlie Woods ahead of Miles Russell. It showed him 7 shots clear, a total of 15 under, a final round 66. It wasn't close. It wasn't lucky. It was clinical. Fans were stunned. Officials were speechless. Fellow players watched in disbelief. This wasn't about one hot round or a collapse by the favorite. It was controlled, calculated, and completely unanticipated. Charlie didn't just arrive, he erupted. He came in as a footnote. He left as a headline. The shockwaves were immediate. Social media exploded. Analysts scrambled for answers. How did a kid ranked outside the top 600 march into one of the strongest AJA fields of the year and walk out with the trophy? Was it a fluke, a flash of brilliance? Or is this the turning point? Because if Charlie Woods can dominate like this at 16 against the best in the country, then what comes next? One win doesn't define a career, but it can light the fuse. And now, the entire junior golf world is watching, wondering the same thing. Did Charlie Woods just flip the future of the sport on its head? Before the headlines, before the victory lap. Charlie Woods was, in many ways, a question mark. Golf fans knew the name. They'd seen the swing. They'd watched him walk step for step with Tiger at the PNC Championship. A mirror image of the legend, like a living tribute. But those were cameos, not campaigns. Glimpses of promise, not proof. In the ruthless world of elite junior golf, potential means nothing without performance. Rankings don't care about legacy. And heading into this season, Charlie Woods was just another name in the middle of the pack, still looking for his breakout moment. 5 AJA events in, and his best finish was a tie for 25th. Meanwhile, Miles Russell stood alone at the top. #1 in the AJGA rankings, a machine built on consistency, wins, and pressure-tested pedigree. If anyone was going to take Streamsong, it was Miles. The field was loaded, but he wasn't. Just another contender. He was the standard. So when Charlie Woods' name showed up on the tee sheet, few gave it more than a passing glance. No one expected what was coming next. To most, Charlie Woods was just a familiar face, a feel-good footnote to the main event, a name people recognized, not a threat they feared. But while the spotlight burned elsewhere, Charlie was evolving, quietly, not through viral clips or highlight reel heroics, but in the shadows, grinding, learning, absorbing, every missed cut, every tough round, every lesson disguised as failure. All of it was shaping him into something far more dangerous than a headline. A competitor. And at Streamsong, that evolution finally came to life. He didn't show up chasing attention. He showed up with a plan. For the first time, the space between potential and performance disappeared. Every swing had purpose. Every decision was calculated. While others wrestled with pressure, Charlie played like someone with nothing to lose and everything to prove. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud, but it was lethal. because the making of a silent hunter doesn't happen in one round or one moment. It happens in the slow burn, behind the scenes, far from the noise, until one day it explodes. This was the quiet rise of a player who stopped being someone's son and started becoming someone to fear. Charlie Woods may have entered Streamsong as an outsider, but he left as something far more unsettling, a problem. One the top of the junior golf world now has no choice but to deal with. By the time he stepped onto the first tee for the final round, the energy had shifted. There was tension, not the kind that comes from hope, but from the creeping realization that something was happening. He was within striking distance, sure, but overtaking the #1 junior in the country, that still felt like a stretch, until it wasn't. What followed wasn't a hot streak. It wasn't luck. It was a calculated takedown. Charlie Woods fired a final round 66, stitching together 8 birdies with clinical precision. The front 9? A warning shot. Birdie after birdie after birdie. And suddenly, the leaderboard didn't just have his name on it. It had his fingerprints all over it. According to Reuters, the final number was 15 under. A 7-shot gap between Charlie and Miles Russell, the tournament favorite. This wasn't a photo finish. It wasn't an upset. It was a rout, and it didn't come against a soft field. It came against the best, and this wasn't just any field. NBC Sports called it the strongest AJGA lineup of the year, stacked top to bottom with the best juniors in the game. Golf Digest had already predicted what that round would do to Charlie's ranking. Historic Leap doesn't even begin to cover it, but the numbers only tell part of the story. What truly shook the golf world wasn't just what Charlie did, it was how he did it. With poise, with calm, with a level of control rarely seen in, players his age, especially under pressure, especially with the cameras rolling. While others blinked, Charlie didn't flinch. While top-ranked juniors scrambled to steady themselves, he pulled away, quietly, confidently. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement, a warning shot to every coach, every scout, every future opponent watching from the sidelines. This is what happens when raw talent meets readiness. Thus, name Woods has always drawn attention. But after this, it's not just because of Tiger. Charlie didn't just rise to the moment. He took it, and in doing so, he may have shifted the landscape of junior golf for good, because Streamsong Resort doesn't hand out low scores. It demands them. And Charlie Woods just met that demand. And then some. This is the kind of course where one misjudged line, one over-aggressive swing can end a round before it even begins. And yet, in a pressure-packed final round against the strongest competition junior golf has to offer, Charlie Woods made Streamsong look manageable. Not by overpowering it, not by dazzling the crowd, but by thinking through every shot like a veteran twice his age. There were no reckless heroics, no ego-driven risks, just a 16-year-old calmly dissecting a championship layout with strategy, discipline, and control. He didn't just avoid mistakes, he anticipated them, plotted around them. While others chased highlights, Charlie chased efficiency, par when it mattered, birdie when it counted. Every move felt intentional, not just rooted in talent but in preparation. That's the part most people miss. This wasn't just a physical performance, it was mental, a masterclass in emotional control, in knowing exactly when to press and when to hold back. The kind of round built not just in the gym or on the range, but in the long hours no one sees.